watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon. Thanks for being with us. I'm Don Brubaker. Shauna Curry is off today. This is an alert day. Heavy rains and flooding all through the crossroads. Let's go to Mac Pettis with a first look at the forecast. Mac?
Well, thank you very much, Don. Obviously, the rain was just almost biblical because we had some areas. Riverside Park came in at 7 inches today, and there have been reports that down in Calhoun County, they had up to a foot of rain. Now, the thunderstorms at this hour are beginning to drop down south. They have weakened out of the Victoria area, but they continue dropping into the Corpus Christi region, and they've already had 60-mile-an-hour winds there, pretty much what we had a little bit earlier in the day. All of our counties continue under a flood watch. Therefore, tomorrow should be the last day we have problems with the stormy weather. This is, of course, a significant issue for us because we haven't had this much rain in quite some time. Now, there was a lot of flooding around the city. There was flooding in some of the neighborhoods. And so our reporter, Amaya Norman, is out in the field checking out to see how the neighbors survived during this stormy weather. Amaya?
Yeah, McCovey, I'm just going to move out the way for a second to show what is behind me. As you can see, we're at a neighborhood that's near downtown Victoria. Now, this road is at least 80% covered with water. Cars came by earlier today, but eventually just ended up making a U-turn as they discovered that they just wasn't able to come through. Now, overall, it was a messy start earlier today, Victoria, as heavy rains moved in overnight, and by this morning, roads were underwater. Now, Victoria Police says they got at least 25 calls about vehicles getting stuck or completely drowned out. Some drivers had to just leave their cars behind. Rainfall total since midnight, anywhere from 4 to nearly 9 inches in some spots, and it definitely showed. Neighborhood streets were flooded, and so were some of the busiest intersections in town, like Navarro and Sam Houston, Laurent and Crestwood. Mockingbird from Navarro to Laurent looked more like a river than a road earlier today. And it wasn't just the roads. The storm knocked out power, too. Around 10 a.m., over 1,200 people were without power in Victoria County. Now, Matagorda County was hit even harder with more than 2,000 outages. And Goliad had close to 200. Some homes also took on water, and first responders spent most of the morning helping drivers, clearing roadways, and checking in on flooded areas. Now, officials are still warning people to stay off the roads, and if you are going to be on the roads, drive with caution and be safe. Dawn, back to you.
Amaya, thank you. The flooding rain is affecting the vast majority of the crossroads. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley spoke with some people to gain their insight on how to stay safe. Ray, what did they tell you?
Yes, Don, while there's a lot of flooding coming and going, Captain Kenny Jones reminds people to stay home if the weather is too hard to bear.
The flood started at 5 a.m. with 5 inches of rain coming down. Intersections such as Red River and Laurent Street were completely flooded and the car was sinking, along with some of Riverside Park as well. Victoria resident Lisa Garcia warns drivers to take an alternate route or to stay stationary.
If you don't need to get out, don't. Stay safe.
Captain Kenny Jones at the Salvation Army feels great empathy as he witnessed some people who were in need of shelter. Captain Kenny understands people have to carry on about their day, but strongly advises people to not be caught in the rain.
Do not drive down these roads where you can't see the stripe down the middle. If you can't see the stripe, that means there's a lot of water there.
Wherever you are in this weather, both Captain Kenny and Lisa recommend that you avoid this weather and stay home if necessary.
A spokesperson with the Victoria Emergency Management says you can report any puddles you see to the police department or to the sheriff's office. Don?
Ray, thank you. Power outages are still affecting hundreds after the downpour in Victoria. 193 customers are reported without electricity. Goliad County had the highest impact with 388 outages, followed by Matagorda County with 204 customers in the dark. Utility crews, including teams from AEP Texas, have been working throughout the day to restore service. Most power is expected to be restored by tonight. Here is your viewer poll. What type of damage did you experience during the last flash flood? Was it structural damage to your home, damage to vehicles, loss or damage of personal belongings, flooding of basement or lower levels, damage to landscaping or outdoor property, or no damage experienced? And fortunately for most of our viewers, 78% of them, they did not experience any kind of damage during the last flash flood. We thank you for voting. We want to hear from you. Head over to crossroadstoday.com/vote and let us know, and we'll share the latest results at 6. Matagorda County issued a declaration of disaster for the entire county after this morning's severe weather conditions, including possible flash flooding and a potential tornado in the Palacios area. Heavy rainfall caused flooding, particularly near Palacios, Laward, and Blessing. Between 3 to 7 inches of rain fell in some parts of the county. Local emergency management officials report water over roadways and advise residents to avoid travel if possible. At least 4 people are dead after heavy flooding in San Antonio overnight into Thursday. Authorities said the victims are 2 men and 2 women. Several other people are still missing. The fire department said there have been dozens of water rescues since Wednesday night. San Antonio was drenched with more than 5.5 inches of rain after midnight. Now it stands as the city's second wettest day in June ever. A man who shot Jackson County deputies in December 2023 was convicted by a Jackson County jury this week. Martin Lugo Jr. of Vanderbilt was found guilty of 3 counts of attempted capital murder of a peace officer. Authorities say when deputies made contact with Lugo, he opened fire and deputies wounded him twice. Lugo was sentenced to 3 concurrent 99-year sentences by that same jury. 2 local schools have received Jobs and Education for Texans grants from the Texas Workforce Commission to help train students for in-demand careers after graduation. You can read this full article on our website, crossroadstoday.com. Graduation season is winding down, and we're celebrating the class of 2025 as they graduate. Congratulations to Colton and Mackenzie. The message says, "Congratulations to my grandson Colton and my granddaughter Mackenzie Judd. I'm very proud of y'all. Y'all have done so much for yourselves. Now it's time for college and for a little bit of fun. Congratulations, love from Grandma." Congratulations to kindergarten graduate Draven. The message says, "We are so proud of you, love you to the moon and back." And congratulations to 2025 graduate Hugo. The message says, "Congratulations, we are proud of you from Mommy and Daddy." You have until tomorrow to send in a photo and heartfelt message for your 2025 grad. We're featuring the grads on air and on social media. To send yours, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com, then click the Entertainment tab, then click the Contest tab. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us straight ahead on 25 News now at 5. Tension and tear gas in downtown Austin. 4 officers injured, dozens arrested during anti-ICE protests. Also ahead, investigators respond to the crash of an Air India flight just after takeoff in India. Continue to erupt in cities across the country, including right here in Texas. In downtown Austin, a demonstration against U.S. immigration enforcement turned chaotic Monday night, leaving officers hurt and several people under arrest. One live streamer caught the escalation on camera, then found himself caught in the middle.
This was the tense situation Monday night in downtown Austin during anti-ICE protests. 4 Austin police officers were injured and 13 people were arrested.
Maybe wrong place, wrong time.
Hiram Gilberto Garcia is an Austin live streamer. He was live streaming the protest as the Department of Public Safety prepared to release tear gas, and Austin police loaded pepper ball projectiles.
We were just doing our job as press, recording important social political movements, making sure that, all of it was captured for accountability purposes.
Hiram continued live streaming as protesters were pushed back by the tear gas and pepper spray. Seconds later, he was arrested on a misdemeanor charge of resisting arrest. That charge was later reduced to interfering with public duties.
When I was arrested, I was pinned down to the ground next to a tear gas canister. And it's funny because you can hear everybody coughing as I'm getting arrested, right? Like the officer's like, don't resist. And I'm over here like, I'm not resisting, right? And everybody's just coughing. And I think actually that added to just how intense the situation was. Both charges that were imposed on me were dropped before I was released from jail.
Democrat Senator Alex Padilla of California was forcibly removed from a news conference held by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem today. During the event in Los Angeles, Padilla interrupted Noem as she was making her first remarks and then started to shout questions at her. Security guards then surrounded Padilla and took him out of the room. A statement from his office said Padilla was forced to the ground and handcuffed. Padilla has been critical of the Trump administration's decision to mobilize the state's National Guard to protect federal buildings against protests against immigration raids. Reports are Padilla later did meet with Secretary Noem. And now to an international tragedy that's drawing global attention. The NTSB is sending a team to India to help investigate the crash of an Air India Boeing 787 this morning. The flight was bound for London and carrying 242 people on board when it crashed into a dense residential area almost immediately after takeoff. Officials believe everyone on board died. Here's the latest from ABC.
Today, investigators in northwest India are searching through wreckage for answers after an Air India flight bound for London crashed moments after takeoff. Video shows the Boeing 787 Dreamliner slowly gliding less than a minute into its 9-hour flight, disappearing behind buildings, then erupting into a fireball. Earlier this morning, officials had thought all 242 passengers and crew members on board died, but there are now reports of one survivor.
We have lost a lot of people. We extend our deepest condolences to all those who have lost their loved ones.
The jet crashed into a dense neighborhood, its charred wreckage scattered across the streets, part of the plane directly hitting a local medical college. It's unclear if the crash injured or killed anyone on the ground. But the crucial black boxes are believed to be recoverable, as they're stored in the tail, seen on the ground and intact. This aircraft has been in operation for 11 years, with more than 41,000 hours of flying time, according to an analytics firm. It's the first Boeing 787 Dreamliner crash ever.
I've never seen anything like this. A twin-engine aircraft slowly descending into the city as a direct result of losing power on both engines.
Boeing says it's in contact with Air India and ready to support them. The NTSB also helping with the investigation by sending a team of investigators from the U.S.
It's going to be a very difficult job. First of all, is the recovery of the bodies, but the second part is going to be trying to make sure that anything that's useful in the wreckage is recovered and preserved, and that's not going to be an easy task.
The passengers on board were Indian, British, Portuguese, and Canadian nationals. In addition to the U.S. sending NTSB officials, the U.K. will also have a team on the ground, as India will be leading the investigation. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, London.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Finally, a little bit of clearing here in the Crossroads after a very stormy day. We had widespread flooding all over the Crossroads, and it is continuing, but it is moving south of us right about now. 71 degrees right now. We haven't said that in quite some time, but this is the impressive side. We had 4.93 inches of rain at the airport, and that's a new record daily amount of rain that we get in one day. That brings the month of June to 611. That's 4 inches above normal, so we're doing really well. All of a sudden, we caught up with all the deficit of rainfall. Coming up, we'll be talking about where the stormy weather will be headed for tonight. All that coming up after this. Well, it was a historic day across the crossroads with the torrential downpours. Now it's beginning to finally move out of the area. And remember, this was a trough that brought us all that stormy weather. Well, that is beginning to lift out and move up into Oklahoma. That's going to bring to an end all of this stormy weather. I'm not saying the rain is over, but the big stuff should be over. Let's zoom in and see where it all is. First of all, we are all under a flood watch for Victoria County all the way down to Aransas County. That is because of the rain and the lack of, rather the water rolling off of the roadways. So we continue with that. But you can see the really big stuff is down just pulling off the coast of Port O'Connor. There you see, no, that would be Rockport. That would be Port Aransas, wrong port. But as you can see, we're doing okay. We have a little light rain still in the area, but the big stuff's moving offshore, that thunder and lightning and the gusty winds. They just had gusty winds here at 60 miles an hour as that storm level moved through, and now it's finally moving offshore. Now, this is the interesting map. Watch this. Rainfall in the last 12 hours. In green, it's 1 inch. In blue, it's 2 inches. In purple, it's 3 inches. In red and orange, it's 4 or 5 inches. And look at that, just south of town, 7 inches of rain. And that's a legit number because we got that same report coming out of Riverside Park at 7 inches, 3 inches not far from Edna. And of course, the crossroads pretty much everywhere got some substantial rain. Now, here's the even better part. You see the stormy weather? That every one of these little plus signs is a lightning strike, and the lightning has, pardon me, ended in our area. Here is Victoria, here is Goliad, Beeville. So all the stormy weather within the last hour, all the lightning was down there, and so we should be doing a little bit better off. Here is the really big news. The river, which was running at 4 feet, and the Guadalupe, is going to move. It's already up at 17 feet, right? And then the crest is going to be at 22. So there's going to be some minor flooding along the river and for about 2-3 days, and then it comes back down. But, you know, the other major concern that I have, I call it the first flush. Whenever we get a rain this big, all the stuff that's on the streets and the roadways and the trash and all that, where does it flow? Into the storm drain. Where does the storm drain flow? Into the river. So all that stuff that we swept off the roadways is now in the river. Of course, it'll settle down and clean up, but it's not a good thing. This is the flood drain that's by the mall, as you see right about there on the north side of the mall. It was completely full. If we'd gotten another inch of rain on there, it might have gotten out of the banks. So fortunately, this was pretty good, but it was still thunder and lightning in the area during when I was filming that. So let's take a look at tomorrow. We're looking for some showers, but a little bit of sun, getting up to about 88 degrees. Tomorrow in Cuero, a few showers left over, but we're getting up to 88, 89 degrees. So yes, we're beginning to slowly clear up. I'm calling it an alert day for the following reason. If we are going to pop some storms in the afternoon. If they do, and they're in a localized area, we may get some quick flooding. So I just want you to be alert for that. Then on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're going to have just a few little pop-up showers here and there, but these will be garden variety showers that won't last very long and certainly will not have any 60-mile-an-hour winds and lightning and all that stuff. So that is your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. And we got, of course, we're in hurricane season, right? Well, what happens when the power goes out? Will your family be ready? So stay storm ready with Aztec Ford and Goliad. We're giving you a chance to win a free generator to keep your home powered up in case you need it if the power goes out. It's real quick, it's easy, and it could save you big time when the lights go out. Go to crossroadstoday.com and register for the Storm Ready Power giveaway. All you got to do is go to the website. At the top, there's going to be 3 little bars, and you click on that. That will bring you down to entertainment, and that'll take you to, entertainment, then contest, and then you find this graphic that says Storm Ready Power, and click on that, enter your email, and who knows, you may be the lucky winner of a generator, courtesy of our friends at Aztec Ford and Goliad. All right, we'll toss it over to Don. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. And up next on 25 News Now 5, what wholesale prices reveal about what you might pay next and why tariffs may be partly to blame. The stock market closed with gains Thursday. The Dow was up 102 points, while the S&P 500 added 23 points. The Nasdaq also gained 47 points. Oil is up 71 cents to $68.04 per barrel. The nation's wholesale inflation inched up 0.1% last month. Fresh data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics reveals that bump to the Producer Price Index caused the annual rate to rise to 2.6%. The PPI is considered a foreshadow of what direction retail level inflation will go over the next few months. The rise in May is a course reversal from a 0.2 point drop recorded in April. Analysts say that was largely pushed by retailers and wholesalers dealing with higher tariffs set by the Trump administration. Many economists predict consumers will eventually see some price increases driven by the tariffs. Heads up, Mitsubishi SUV drivers, nearly 200,000 vehicles are being recalled because an issue with the rear view camera could increase the risk of a crash. Mitsubishi said the rear view camera software was improperly programmed. That could cause the camera to freeze or fail to display at all. The recall impacts 2022 to 2024 Mitsubishi Outlanders and 2023 to 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrids. Dealers will update the software for free. Letters will go out to vehicle owners on June 30th. This recall is an expansion of a similar recall in 2023. Vehicles repaired under that recall will also need to undergo the new software update. A hidden treasure found inside a wall sells for a fortune in Paris. Why experts say is one of the rarest collections ever auctioned. That's coming up on 25 News Now at 5.
The horrific plane crash and now the new video, the new view of this crash. Hundreds killed in the air, just 30 seconds. Tonight, the miracle in seat 11A, the lone survivor. Also, the U.S. Senator on the ground, handcuffed behind his back, trying to ask questions about immigration.
A huge collection of historic gold coins sold for nearly $3.5 million at a Paris auction this week. The coins were found hidden in the wall of a house in France. Some of the coins are very rare, with many dating back centuries. That includes ancient coins from the Kingdom of Macedonia between 336 BC and 323 BC. The collection also includes a nearly complete series of coins used during the reigns of French kings, Louis XIV, Louis XV, and Louis XVI. He used the same pennies. The Hurricane Tracking Guide 2025 is here. Stay prepared and stay safe. Pick up your free copy at these locations: Full of Pep in Cuero, El Campo Cycle Center, Palace Bingo in Victoria, Coastal Bend College in Beeville, Went Services in Victoria, Victoria All Sports, and Aztec Ford in Goliad. Don't wait, get yours today. And I'm telling you what, if you know, this would maybe, of course, obviously it wasn't a hurricane situation today, but hurricanes, of course, can cause flooding and heavy rains.
Well, you know, and I don't like to be a Debbie Downer,
well, yeah.
but we needed the rain. We got the rain. Now, what happens is if a tropical storm shows up?
Right.
It's going to be a problem.
Right.
So what we need now is, believe it or not, another week of quiet weather with sunshine to let everything dry up, and you know, all the corn is in the field. You got to get it out pretty soon. Can't get in there with all the mud. So a few days of dry weather will be good, and I think that's what next week looks like. Now, I still have the flag up for alert day because we will have additional showers popping because of the heating tomorrow. And if you get one, you're going to get some quick flooding out of that. So just to be cautious, you know what I'm talking about, low water crossings and, you know, waterways that tend to fill up very rapidly. Well, those are the ones we're talking about.
All right, we'll see you back at 6.